Do you?
I don't know.
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing?
Hey y'all.
Hello, hello. So I'm excited. We have a special guest coming on. Do you want to up that? You want me to up that light some?
Should we? Are we okay?
It's up to you.
You look good and all glowy.
Yeah. So we have Miss Nico with me today. I am so excited, and we have another special guest coming on to talk to us about the remote online notary opportunity, which is something that you guys know we all want to know about, right? I couldn't tell y'all enough, um, but so I went out and found somebody else to tell you, and I'm texting her now.
And I have my pen and paper already.
And so Miss Nico is here. She's going to ask questions with us. And I created a video on the mystery shopper thing. So we just got off of her thing, talking about the mystery shopper opportunity. I'm excited about that. I mean, man, it's a lot of money to be made. And one of the conversations that Miss Nico and I have been having is, you know, there's not a lack of money, right? You got $1 million in your head right now, and that you don't think is important. Okay, you have $1 million in your head, and somebody else is saying, "Wow, you know a lot about that." I ran into a little gentleman this evening at Best Buy. He told me what cameras to get, why this is the best, what modem to get. He told me every single thing that I needed to know. So that was valuable. And that's something that he could go to YouTube and make money from YouTube. So, man, hey, y'all have to get on this stuff and really, really take it seriously. I am going to add Miss Samantha Pitts to the live stream. Hey, beautiful.
Hi, hello, how are you?
I am good. You look so pretty.
You
Her
do.
on
Thank you.
signagent.com, her profile picture is so freaking gorgeous. I said I need to
Oh,
redo mine.
oh, thank you. Thank
So
you.
me and Nico, we gotta,
Well, maybe I need to come over. Oh, I need to scoot over this. I gotta go this way.
I don't know. Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Oh, she got the nails.
I
Yes,
know.
ma'am. Long nails.
And they're red. That's my color.
I don't know how to position this camera, so we'll do it
We'll,
one at a
we'll,
time.
we'll be fine.
When I need to push it over to Nico, I'll
you'll
just
see me
push
with
it.
this.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 So, Miss Samantha, I have you on because my tribe, this is my family. Solutions by TJ. You see all these people, it's 81 on now. We'll have 160 something on by the end of the night. These are my
Awesome.
people, okay?
Okay.
And everybody has been talking about the remote online notary opportunity, trying to figure out how do I get set up?
Yes.
What platform is the best?
Hmm.
And where do I go to make money doing this?
Right.
Nobody, that's what we can't figure out. And then I'm
Okay.
sure as we go, they'll have additional questions, but those are
Sure.
the questions that we get the most often. Now, before we get started, give us a little bit about your background and then we can go in now.
Okay, a little bit about my background. So I believe I worked a wide variety of jobs. So I've been back here in Texas for a year now. I had quit my job working at Intuit about a year ago and decided to start my own business. I have been commissioned as a notary since 2017 between Arizona and Texas. I started remote online in May. And I actually started with Notarize. I currently am contracted with Notarize and One Notary. And I actually draw from my experience in my previous jobs when I and apply it to my business. And so I was also a mortgage banker with Quicken Loans, but I would also like to say that I don't always have to rely so heavily on my past experience. I just apply it where it's necessary and then allow myself to flourish as a business owner because there is definitely a difference between being an employee, an entrepreneur, and working on your business. And I believe a lot of times what some people are going to run into as a problem is remote online notary is not a quick fix or a quick way to make money. You still have to apply yourself, your skills, your professionalism. You have to understand that you have a license, and just like how you have a license to drive, there's an investment. And so that's how that's what I would say is kind of contributed to who I am today. Is I draw on the skills where necessary, but wherever I do need to work more on certain skills, I do make sure I make the investment to work on that.
Perfect. So on Notarize and One Notary, let's talk about that real quick.
Sure.
Can you do loan or mortgage closing documents on both of those, or can you only do it on one?
So you can do it on both. However, with Notarize, and I would say with any company, they're going to want to see how well that you are at serving customers or being able to even function on the platform before they'll allow you to do something like that. We're dealing with people's houses. In addition to when you're doing general notary work, you're dealing with people's lives. And so on each of them, you can. However, there is a certain amount of transactions that have to be completed, especially for Notarize. And for One Notary, they right now have their loan signing portal in beta. They already have a
Mm.
group of people that are going through that and providing feedback to enhance that platform more. So with both of them, yes.
So when you get started, how quickly is it that they begin to send you work? Say, for instance, we sign up today with Notarize. Will
Right.
we begin to get assignments? When will we get assignments?
So I believe Notarize has actually made some changes. When I signed up with them, I did my testing and actually went straight through and could start taking calls that day. Now, I believe what they're seeing though is that people need training. They need a script to follow. They need to understand how the tools work. And so there's one lady that I kind of mentor and help out, and she let me know that there's actually some there's the videos that you take a look at. They're about an hour long, and then I believe there's a 2 hour kind of class where they also help you and get familiar with the platform as well. And so it's not just jumping right in with say One Notary. I know you asked only about Notarize, but with One Notary, they once you provide all your credentials to show that you are a commissioned remote online notary, then you can begin to start taking. You can do test notarizations, and then you can start inviting your clients. You can start servicing clients technically, I want to say, after you've done about 50 transactions. And sometimes it could possibly depend on their need. So one of the things I would like to address is that making, as I mentioned before about investments, I don't believe a lot of people position themselves for success. They say, this is what I want to do. This sounds great. Oh, it's got to be easy. And I'm not saying that it can't be, but what are you doing to position yourself for success? If someone at One Notary so happens to come across someone that's like, hey, I need these 5 documents done, but they can only be done by Kansas Notary or a notary in Tennessee. Do you have that available? Well, if it's a business opportunity that is lucrative enough for the company and they can find someone, then they may be looking for you. But are you positioned for the success that you say that you want? Is a question.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
And so, how can they position themselves for that success?
What I would say is so there's. hmm, I wanted to say there's quite a few people out here that are that would help them. Notarize is a great place to start. Is what some people would suggest because of how they do provide the training and a call script, so that helps get you into a flow of the mechanics of how the platform may work. Yes, it's their platform, but when you start to understand, I believe in general, like how what to look for on a platform, that can kind of help you going forward as well. If they have networks, uh, I would suggest joining networks that have people that talk about remote online notarization. And I mean, find a mentor, find someone that may have the experience that can help you with this. But I know right now we're speaking about something that really only gained as much popularity because of the pandemic,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
Texas has had this law passed for 2 years. Virginia and Florida has been on board for a while as well. But literally, there really is not a lot of information out there. Some of us are really just pioneering it. And
Yeah.
so, if I were just to directly answer the question, I would say Notarize would be a start. You doing this interview opens people up to knowing about myself and other people as well. And it's just one of those things where we're all kind of figuring it out as we go along.
So I'm a king and queen maker. I know you don't know me very well, but I'm a king and queen maker.
Okay.
And what I see for you is coaching. I mean, I mentioned that, yeah, don't do all
I
that.
concur.
Don't do all that. Yeah, I'm gonna throw you in the water.
Yeah.
So I mentor too, but
Mhm.
on face-to-face notarization. So what we do, me and my cousin, we mentor or coach people through their first transaction.
Okay.
And just to give you an idea, we charge $350 for the first month, and
Mhm.
then a mandatory $50 per month for the next 3 months thereafter. So
Mhm.
total commitment that they make is $500.
Right.
Because sometimes when you're thinking about doing stuff, I give all of the information away. So if you
Right.
ever have anything, I believe in a God of plenty, that there's more than
Yeah.
enough. So if you
Yeah.
ever need, man, how much should I price this? You
Mhm.
are worth it. People
Mhm.
are willing to pay for it.
Mhm.
And just jump on YouTube and just start talking and giving out information, because a lot of people need the ABCD. Step one, how to
Mhm.
become a remote online notary.
Yes. Mhm.
Step two, after you become a remote online notary, how do you sign up with Notarize?
Yeah.
Right.
Just going through that platform and creating videos on the very basics.
Mhm. Mhm.
Step three, once you've gone through and set yourself up on Notarize, go through the training, how to get your first job. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Take them through some of the scripts. But that's what I think people are looking for.
Yeah.
Now, I can't do it all.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
passing you the torch if you want to take it. I know everybody is busy, but I do
Mhm.
believe that, the person who creates that is
Mhm.
going to win. I mean, a lot of that can
Mhm.
be free information because it's
Right.
the basics that people don't know. And
Right.
even after they have everything set up,
Mhm.
what I've noticed,
Mhm.
whole bunch of mentors out here who will
Right.
sell you a system. You
Yes.
go watch their videos, write all this stuff down, but people still want individual hand holding.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's where my clients come in. They
Mhm.
want you to be there and say, TJ, I'm scared. What do I
Right.
do if I run into something at the table that I don't know how to do? And
Right.
I'm like, listen, I'm right there with you. I'm a phone call away. You call me like I'm your back office. Hello,
Right.
Mrs. Johnson. I'm at the Mendez closing and I have a question on page 25 of
Mhm.
document such and such.
Mhm.
Please advise regarding how I should fill that out. Simple. And
Right.
we're sitting there while they're there, and people think that, ooh, Mindy, ooh, okay, girl, they ain't talking to nobody but me.
Right. Right.
You done
It's
made that so big,
yeah,
you know.
I
But
do.
right, but that professionalism
Mhm.
is the face that I want my tribe to put forward. You
Right.
know,
Right.
that's the
I agree.
standard that we set for professionalism. And you mentioned something on a video with, I think, the Remote Online Notary Network. I
Yeah.
can't remember
With
her name.
Catherine. Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
you mentioned that we are the forefront of protection for people. Talk a
Yes.
little bit more about that for me.
Yes. Okay. So a notary is known as a public servant, but they're known as the fraud protection system for the state that they're commissioned in. So
Mhm,
what you're supposed to do as a notary, you have the acknowledgement because you're acknowledging that this person supplied the proper, information to let us know that they are who they are.
mhm.
And that is what a notary public does. It's not just, yes, you get signed, you get paid for your signature, your autograph and everything like that. But there is a level of responsibility that comes with that as far as what you could be charged with against the state for notarizing something or basically lying. So yes, we are a fraud protection system for the state to say, yes, we verify that this person is who they are. And by the license that you have given me and the oath that I was sworn under, this is how I perform my duties.
Absolutely. And
Mhm.
even when it comes to the elderly, or,
Yes.
people who are disabled, or people who look like they are being coerced into doing something, it is
Yes.
our responsibility to
Correct.
say no and
Correct.
ask the question, are you okay? Are you doing this of your
Yes.
own will?
Correct. Yes, which is
And
I'm
even,
glad you brought that up because that is there are four questions that I ask, and that question in particular is very important because some people could sit here and sign things that they have no idea that they know what they're signing, and they're only doing it because they're asked, because they feel peer pressured and so forth, and that could cause a whole case against even the notary.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hmm.
So Those are important questions. We are the forefront fraud protection system. I love it. Let's check in. Do any of you all have any questions for Miss Samantha? Now, normally I see 99,400,000 questions, and tonight,
I have
y'all,
one. I have one.
okay.
How? Well, here I am. How do we get started? What's the first step in becoming a RON? What do we
So
need to do?
the first step is, well, I would say I'll apply this as far as Texas, but I believe it may be the same across all states. Is first you have to become a traditional notary first. Once you have gone through the steps of becoming a traditional notary, as far as getting your errors and omissions insurance, your bond, running a background check, then you can move on to the application for remote online, which does include you do have to purchase a digital certificate, which is not the not your commission certificate. It is a digital certificate that you could purchase from IdenTrust. It is one company that's pretty popular. There might be a few others out there, but you purchase a ticket from them, and then you also need an electronic seal. Now, according to Texas, once you have that information, there is a statement of officer that has to be signed by the digital certificate, and it can look like a very confusing process because it's not the actual signature. It's when you're using the digital certificate, it's like a box. It looks scribbly. You need Adobe. You sign that. You submit it along with your electronic signature, electronic seal, and go through the steps on the Secretary of State website for Texas. And literally, after I submitted that information, maybe 5 minutes, I had got my remote online commission through Texas. Places like Tennessee and Florida requires you to have a contract with the platform, which, in case anyone didn't know, the terms of service that you agree to on a website, whether you're a notary or a signer or even a witness, is a contract. So it says terms of service, but that is your contract. That's what Florida requires. And in addition to, they want to know what kind of technology that the platform that you're utilizing is going to use to accomplish the remote online. So for each state is different, but for the state of Texas, become a traditional notary, then buy your certificate, electronic seal, submit an application, and boom, that's it.
What is the cost of that? Because I'm in Texas. What is the cost of that? And will I need software for that to become? And how long is the process?
The cost for let's see, the the traditional application, I believe, is like $45 or $50. For the Ron, it might be 25. For the iDenTrust certificate, I would really have to look this up, but I bought mine for 1 year. I want to say it's maybe about $65 or so. You have an option of 1 year, 2 year, or 3 years. I
Mhm.
bought 1 year because this was new. I wasn't sure, and I didn't want that long of a commitment, even though my commission lasts longer than that. An electronic seal can maybe cost you about somewhere between $12 and $15, not a whole lot. There's not a lot of overhead with starting this business, even as a traditional notary or as a remote online. When it comes to the platform, however, both of the platforms that I'm on, I do not pay for. I'm one of those where I don't mind paying for things, but I was attracted to becoming a notary because there was not a lot of overhead costs. So the platform will typically provide everything that you need. You just upload your digital certificate, your seal, and say with one notary, there is a template for your jurat and your acknowledgement. With Notarize, all you need is just your seal and your certificate.
And how long did it take you to get that everything done?
To become a remote online notary, after I purchased all of my information, my application was approved in maybe 5 minutes. It was not long, and it's approved through the system, is what I believe, because I did it late in the evening, and this was why the pandemic was going on. It was all done online.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready.
So, one of the questions that we have, or what are the four questions that you ask
Mhm.
again?
Yes. So the four questions, generally speaking, I would say one question should be, well, let me see where else. One question I do generally ask while I'm confirming the person's identity is if they could briefly explain to me what it is that we're notarizing. And one of the reasons that I asked them to explain that is because you should know what it is that we're about to notarize. And if you
Mhm.
can explain it, then that lets me know that you understand the contract that you're about to enter into with this document. After they explain that, then the question that you mentioned, are you signing this within sound mind? Yes, are you signing this out of your own free will? Is what I would say. If you want
Mhm.
to say you're in sound mind if you're doing it, and the answer generally should just be yes or no. After that, you want to make sure that they understand that they're signing with an electronic signature. So ask them, do you understand that you're going to sign with electronic signature? Or are you okay with that? Again, the answer should be yes or no. Another question would be, now, do you also understand that by signing this contract that you're legally binding yourself to the terms of the contract, even if it's just a letter? You want to, it helps make you more come across more official and more professional. Like, we're serious
Absolutely.
about this. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily a joke. Yes, things are cool, but there are legalities that you could face. And what was the last question? I would say I know that was about four
Yeah,
that I
that was
said there.
four.
So yeah.
And so Marion says, what income can we expect for the remote online notary opportunity?
That's a good question. Really, your income potential, I would say, it depends on you and the platform, right? So, for example, with with Notarize, each time that you're doing a transaction, just the transaction itself, one seal, one signer, you get paid $5. However, if it only takes you 15 minutes to do that, then all depending on how long the transactions are, you can make anywhere maybe from $20 to $25 per hour, and that's with general notary work. As far as loan signings and how much you would make with that, really, that's going to depend on the platform, is what I would say. But your income potential, as far as being an online notary, I don't leave it to just the platform. I do suggest having multiple platforms because they pay differently. I get paid much more with one notary, but I also have a different relationship with one notary. I started off as a beta tester with them, and I've developed my relationship with them without even meeting anyone face to face, which is really interesting. They saw my videos and some emails that I sent, and I guess they recognized my professionalism and loved it. So that gives you a general idea hourly. But you do have to do the work. Even there's going to be times where there might be customers coming in back to back. There may be times when it's slow. The thing is are you going to show up and be available each and every time, regardless of what the flow is? Because I can guarantee you, you're the only one that's going to limit your income potential, not the company.
Awesome. I love it. So I know for one notary, you have to go out for your first 50 and get your own clients. How did
Mhm.
you bring your clients? How did you find your clients to bring to the platform?
I actually was more fortunate that I really so one, I have a Google page, and that my address that's listed there is actually the mailing address for one of my boxes at a UPS store. Now, even though they have a notary there, my availability compared to their notary exceeds their notary. So I
Mhm.
started with a Google web page, and it just so conveniently was at that store, which does get a lot of traffic, and it's searchable. And I have a Google phone number tied to it as well. So I'll get phone calls from there. And as opposed to leaving the house and saying, yes, I can meet up with you, each person I would call and say, I perform my notarizations online, and this is how it goes, and let them know that I'll walk them through the process, make it sound as easy as possible, because it is easy once you let them know ahead of time what to expect. And it started from there. Now, I've completed way over 50 transactions with Notarize. With one notary, I would say, I wouldn't even say I got lucky. I was positioned for success. And so I didn't necessarily have to reach 50, especially being a beta tester, because I was able to offer feedback, information, and things like that. And so that's what allowed me to get to their second tier level, where they provide me clients now, in addition to me having my own clients.
Perfect. So for all of you who are wondering, what is a beta tester? So when a new platform comes on board and
Mhm.
they are in the testing phase to make sure that there aren't any kinks in their platform,
Right.
to figure out what features people like, what they don't like, they bring in certain people to test their system. And that's what
Mhm.
Samantha was for One Notary.
Yes.
Um, I had another question and forgot, so I'll go to Sal. Sal says, "Hi, TJ and Samantha. Does Notarize accept newbies?"
Hi, Sal. Yes, everyone is new at Notarize, right? I was just fortunate enough to work for them first as an employee, and honestly, it was for 1 month, and
Mhm.
I was let go. Well, our whole team was, but yes, they do, and they do. provide videos and of things of that nature to help make you more comfortable with the platform. Miss Monche is actually a phenomenal trainer at Notarize, and she was actually one of my trainers as well, and she's still part of the training team there. So as you go through the process, with everything, the tools are there, but just take your time, be patient with yourself, and please read to understand and comprehend, not just to say that you read. In this industry, there's because I also provide support in another way for notaries, and a lot of them do not read. And I understand, I don't have a problem hand holding, but I need you to do your part as well, and I need you to read to understand, and come and understand why it is that you are coming to this. Some people are looking for to get rich quickly, and that this is not that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, let's see. I believe that this is an in-person signing. I had a signing the other week where a signer was furious to sign and put more of his info in my journal. I explained why, but he still refused. Do I continue the signing? I personally would not.
Hmm.
I would not,
Right.
because your journal is a document that can be subpoenaed in a court of law. It's
Correct.
public information. It's
Yes.
public information.
Yes.
So yeah, I personally would not continue.
Right. And to that, I would say this as well. When having a business, becoming a notary is having a business. One of the
Absolutely.
things that it's going to expose your weaknesses as a person. So if you don't have great boundaries, if you're a big people pleaser, if you're afraid of conflict, all of that is going to get exposed in your business. And so
Mhm.
what you do want to ask yourself is, what kind of clients do you really want to attract? Who is for you? And when you do understand that and understand the why you started a business, you won't have a problem firing your customers or turning them down and saying, this isn't for me. This kind of relationship or interaction is not mutual, and be okay with that. Not all money is good money. Some money is expensive misery.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so, Latanya Smith asked, did you create an ID badge for your job? Like, do you create an ID badge for in person and have something,
Hmm.
online or in person jobs? That's a good question for both.
It is. No, I have not created a badge as of yet. I do think it is a great idea so that you don't have to present like your ID or driver's license. I I do a few in-person notarizations. They're mostly loan modifications that pay maybe about $30 or so, but I'm literally driving 5 minutes away from my house for them.
Hmm.
Um, as far as online, my website, I was trying to get my website up and running, and that's not even as great as I would want it to be. So the answer to your question would be no. I don't have a badge, but I do think it is a great idea. Anything that you can create on your part, that'll make you come across more professional or that suits the business, your business, I would say go for.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Um, do you have any experience with Doc Verify? I'm a part of Doc Verify. It's super expensive. It's super
Mhm.
clunky to me. I don't
Yeah.
like the way my digital seal looks on there. So, I mean, I've really been looking at notarizing One Notary, and I was actually waiting for One Notary to
Mhm.
allow more loan signing,
Mhm.
more mortgage documents. But
Okay.
do you have any experience with Doc Verify?
I don't. I did look at Doc Verify, but their cost is honestly what turned me off because I didn't want to make that much of a commitment without fully understanding what I was getting into. And then I do a lot of research as well on my own. I don't always listen to everyone's experience, but any posts and things that I did find, a lot of people were very frustrated with Doc Verify, how much money they came out and not being able to get in contact with support, having a hard time understanding the system. And it really was not made for notaries. It was made to, yes, to sign documents, and now it's almost like I made it for this purpose and I just slapped on the fact of, yes, let's go ahead and add notaries, and so it's not the proper vehicle for notaries, and that's one of the reasons why they run into so many problems.
Absolutely. Um, t- 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 Rita asks, is there an exam for Ron or just apply for a seal, apply for seal and you're ready? So no, there is not an exam for it.
Right.
You do have to go through the Secretary of State, though, in order to be certified to be a
Right.
remote online notary.
Hmm.
No software is needed for that to be remote.
There's no software required to be, the software is the platform that you sign on.
Okay.
Correct.
So the platform would be either Notarize, Doc Verify, One
Hmm.
Notary. That's the
Hmm.
software.
And it's definitely the I would say it's the future of where things are going, because even Adobe has the what's called the KBA, the knowledge base
Mhm.
authentication system, but it's on an enterprise version, which is about $5,000. So even if, I mean, if someone, I don't expect someone to do it, but if Adobe was smart, they would either create a monthly plan for notaries if they did want to have their own software, that they could go through Adobe and use whatever external video conference calling system, and you can provide do notarizations through there. Some law offices have invested in it. So
Absolutely.
Wow.
mhm.
So when you start, when you become a notary, how did you set your business up? Did you get an EIN number as well as an LLC, or did you do it under a DBA and your social?
Right now, well, I did get an EIN number, but I haven't finished forming my LLC, so it is done under a DBA. What I would suggest to anyone, take a look at what works for you in your business. I Because of how I wanted my business to come across, I prefer to do an LLC, but it would still be a single member LLC.
And from a tax perspective, just to let you know,
Yeah.
you probably need to have a 1% member
Hmm.
when you do your LLC from a
Hmm.
tax perspective. But of course, check with your CPA as well, because I had to change mine from a single member to give my daughter 1%. So, yeah. I missed a question. Here it is. Okay, Tommy says, "Hi, TJ and Sam." Hey, Tommy. Do you think you can make $75 to $200 per loan signing on Ron compared to in-person signings?
I would say personally, I believe maybe somewhere between 75 to 150. I do believe though that this is something that title companies are still kind of getting adjusted to, because there's what's called a hybrid signing where part of it is electronically done and then there's still wet signatures. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what makes people feel comfortable. With remote online, it's completely electronic. And I believe if when title companies get on board, they're going to save so much more money. But I do believe that yes, that you will be able to make that amount. It's just all going to depend on the title company and what they're willing to pay, and why would they want to pay you for that.
And so of course, Doc Verify is expensive. I mean, a
Mhm.
one-page document costs $25 to the
Mm,
client. I
mhm,
mean, and that's at a minimum without the notary even making a dime.
mm.
So how much does Notarize and One Notary charge for just one document?
So the starting cost is $25 for each platform, but there's
Okay.
no money out of the notary's pocket at all.
Right. Okay.
And
Okay.
so
Now that's
with
a difference because on
yes,
Doc Verify it's $25 and then you have to get it how you live.
correct.
So right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so with Notarize right now, it's $5 for the one single document with one stamp and one signer. For one notary, if I'm bringing my own client, I would make about $17 bringing my own client. Through taking on one notary's client, I make $7
Okay.
per signing.
Okay.
General notary work. Mhm.
Perfect. Okay. This question, how do you manage your transactions through multiple accounts?
Oh, that's a good question. So with Notarize, you have a Stripe account, and so there's actually a separate login that you can log in and see all of your transactions there. With One Notary, I have one account that everything goes into as ACH deposit. So I keep the account separate. That way is how I would manage my transactions. Is I mean, it really, after the transaction is completed, I'm with Notarize, you're paid daily. It might take a day or two for it to
Now
show in
that's
your account.
awesome.
It is. And then with One Notary, I'm paid weekly. So Monday, I know what my earnings are from that whole week. And then about 2 days later, it's deposited into the account. So if that's what you mean by managing transactions through multiple accounts, that's how that's done. So I have one specific account that all the money goes into for between Notarize and One Notary.
Awesome. So when you did you start getting calls or emails right away before you were open? Tanya, I think that's what you were trying to say.
With Notarize, well, let's see. With Notarize, as soon as you log in, if there's clients in the queue, you're taking the call right away, like
Mhm.
jumping in the water. Let's
Oh, that's
go.
awesome.
Yes. With One Notary, I am appointment only. So the appointments are set up on their website, which flows into Calendly, which ties into my Google Calendar. And so I'll know the moment that I wake up, if I set my hours from, say, 9 to 3, and I get my day started around 7, I can see what appointments I have because I have the app on my phone, but I get notifications in my email. And from there, I'm working what I call my pipeline. So just because, and I would like to touch on this, just because I have the appointment set, that's not guaranteed money, right? Because the client still has to make it all the way through KBA, which is a
Mhm.
knowledge-based authentication system. What I do is I ensure that I do my part, not leaving it up to the company, and I email the client directly. Hey, my name is Samantha. We have a meeting today. I'm your notary with One Notary. Just to give you a heads up, you need to complete the session, the signing up process all the way online before we can meet. And this is what you should expect. Please ensure that you're using a computer or a laptop with a webcam and an audio, because this is a two-way audio and everything is done through video. Make sure your audio works, and also ensure that you're using a Chrome browser um, for the best experience.
Experience. I
Yes,
love it. I tell you, we are creating the best Ron video on YouTube right now because there's nothing else like this.
I believe it. I've
Absolutely.
looked. I've looked.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Um,
She's Coach Samantha Pitts.
I know. Coach
She's
Samantha Pitts.
Coach.
You
Okay,
know, let
Coach.
me tell you, it is so funny. I've had a few people. People have been speaking coaching into my life for a while now, and you're right on the money with it. I actually had a mentor that was like, "When the opportunity comes, like, don't run from it because it's coming." So,
And this is your opportunity because it's not a game. Like the people on this call are hungry for this information. Some
right,
people want to do only remote online notarizations.
right, right. I'm one
They
of those
don't
people.
want to, yeah, they don't want to go into people's houses. So they are
Right,
looking for that hand holding. They are looking for you. And, it's a little selfish for you not to give the people what they want. Where
you're
you
right.
have it, God has blessed you with it. They'll be happy. Okay.
That's true.
What do you think about Sinex? I looked at Sinex a long time ago
Mhm.
when all of this first came out. We have a mobile notary organization where we hire notaries out. So we were looking for platforms, and Sinex didn't answer us. They didn't respond.
Mhm.
A lot of people during the beginning phases of the pandemic were just not available.
Right.
So that was my experience. Did you have any experiences? Do you have any with Sinex?
Not with Signex, no, because I believe that they required money up front as well. I mean, so the only three platforms that I'm signed up on, and I didn't mention this one before because I haven't gotten any work through them, is Nexus. And that's because SnapDocs works directly with Nexus. So I made sure
Mm,
that I signed up with them and put that on my profile. There was no fees at all. And I also got an email from them, reminding me to ensure that I had everything. And then I mentioned One Notary and Notarize. You may want to try looking at, there's another new company called at Notarize, atnotarize.com. I haven't quite started with them and I have not got a demo, but looking at their website and some of the information there, this is another new company that's just now. They just launched October 9th. And so there is a cost with them, but their cost is about $20 a month. And I believe if you sign up for a year subscription, you get a month free, or even if you still wanted to do a month by month, that is a very low cost compared to everything else that's out there. I'm just really not into spending that much money with these platforms that are still new. But that's also
absolutely.
because I'm confident about the level of experience and professionalism that I bring. And so I'm willing to be trained, but if it's going to cost me a certain amount of money, I just don't want to do it.
So, from where you are right now in
Hmm.
your career as a remote online notary, give
Yes.
me a range of income. Do you make 5 to 10 a month, 10 to 20 a month? What range do you make? That's not too personal of a question.
If I am, let me see about, so my, with Notarize right now, I set myself at about like $50 a day, working 5 days a week. So, and with one notary, I can say that I probably, that's about somewhere between 150 to 200 a week, with one notary. So I
Mhm.
don't know necessarily what the math is for that, but
Yeah.
yeah, if you ultimately, because I'm only with Notarize, I'm working maybe about 3 hours. But again, in addition to being on both these platforms, I also have um, another stream of income that ties in with Notary by being a support. So that brings money in as well. So I'm really tied up with a few things. But I could safely say, I mean, if you needed to make somewhere between 2 to 3 thousand or maybe more, you could do that. But you have to be willing, as I mentioned, to do the work. For some reason, people are under this impression that as long as I'm sitting at a computer, I'm clicking here, and then boom, that's it, and I'm done. And the customers are just coming through. No, you, with one platform, maybe like Notarize, possibly, but some of the, you're filling out all different kinds of forms. There's a lot of people out here that don't know nothing about the USPS 1583 form, and it can be a beast when it comes to filling it out. They're very specific. So you can make full-time income with this. You just have to ensure that you're putting in the work.
And see,
And
nobody on this call knew about the 15432, whatever you just said.
oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I'm hearing. That was something I actually trained my colleague on, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, like we, yeah, it's a form that actually was not filled out correctly a lot with Notarize, and the company that had a contract with them let them know about that. And I believe that's one of the reasons they changed their training, because
Yeah.
that form, it's a governmental form and it does need to be filled out a certain way.
So, do you get any signings from SnapDocs?
Not any online signings yet, no, but I do believe that SnapDocs is going to pick up the pace on that.
Awesome.
Mhm.
What makes you think that? Just for the nature of the way the industry is going?
That, yes, that, and as well as they had sent me an email saying I'm ranked pretty high. Well, it says that I'm ranked high with them, and that's also because I passed their test and I put my RON information on there. And the
Mhm.
fact that they sent the email to say, "Hey, let's make sure that you're signed up with Nexus," I don't think that they sent that out just to say, "Hey, let's go ahead and keep this running." I do believe that that's the direction that they're gearing up to head in, and they want to make sure that there are notaries there for when they do accept the assignments can go ahead and execute.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Okay. When you start. Okay, so Tanya has another question saying, was it hard to find a company to get in the door with no experience? And I think you answered that it wasn't
Right.
hard for you on Notarize.
Correct. Right. Because I had worked with them initially, and then even, and I paid attention throughout the whole process. So even after the layoff, my intention, even while I was working with them full time, was still to contract with them on the side. I mean, why not? Like as an employee with them, I got paid to make mistakes on their dime. And then I took that information and then applied it to myself as a contractor. So no, it wasn't easy. I mean, no, it wasn't hard at all. And then I took what I applied at Notarize and applied it to One Notary.
Absolutely.
Mhm,
Absolutely.
mhm.
Do you train for someone new? Okay, Tanya is also saying, do you offer training for someone new in the field? We talked about that.
Right. It's in the works now. It's in the works.
Praise God. Um, um, the pay better per transaction to the notary. Okay. Christina said, I got a notarized demo. It looks promising.
Mhm.
They pay better per each transaction to the notary. The notary keeps 70%.
Mm.
You're going to actually find that with most platforms. They're going to do 70/30.
And Alicia is asking, are these sessions being recorded? Are the sessions being recorded by video and audio, and who reviews it if so?
Yes, all the sessions are recorded. They have to be recorded. That's state law with remote online notarization. Each company has their quality assurance team that reviews it. However, the journal, the notary has a copy of the video, well, can have a copy of the video. Your notarial journal is online as well. And then so you have the videos there that you can export, which is
Mhm.
suggested that you export them and save them to a hard drive, because just like your paper journal, they can be subpoenaed as well, but the companies are responsible for hosting the videos on their servers.
Gotcha. So on Doc Verify, you had an option whether to record the entire transaction or to just record the notarial act. Is it the same on
Oh,
other platforms as well, or they just record the entire thing?
no, the entire thing is recorded. With One Notary, it's just the actual video session, so you don't see the document at all, or which is
Mm,
for security reasons, I would suggest. Now,
absolutely.
because with One Notary, I believe also the ID information isn't recorded either. What I do is I ask the signer to hold up their ID to the camera to show the front and the back of the ID, because I understand how the video goes. And so this
Mhm.
way it covers me by allowing them to show that they did have the proper identification. And also, this is another thing to keep in mind, because some people take pictures they have saved copies of their driver's license in their computers for whatever reason. And they'll say that, oh, I lost it and I don't have it. This is something else that you need to be aware of. Always ensure that the person is presenting the ID to the camera itself, literally holding the ID like this, front and
Mhm.
back, and turning it for you, because not everybody has integrity. So you got to make sure
Absolutely.
you cover yourself. And yeah, I've had some sessions that didn't complete because, oh, I'm gonna get back to you. No, you're not, but it's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Sandra is asking for recommendations on getting your first 50 clients. And I think we kind of spoke to that with how you did it with
Hmm.
setting up a Google business account. And
Right.
you guys can just look for that information on how to set up a Google business account, a
Yes.
local business account
Yes.
online.
Yes.
Any thoughts on Pavaso?
So I registered with Pavaso as well, but there's there is a trick to Pavaso, because they want you to already be with a company. And what I had picked a company because it said notarized, but it said notarized 24/7. So I thought it was notarized and it wasn't. But I believe that notarized 247 is actually also Notary Cafe. And because I had a membership with them, it got approved. So Pavaso is about $90 a year is what they require. But again, with them, you're going to need to be linked in with like a title company or something like that in order to use them. So I have not got to actually use them yet. And they do actually have a whole directory too, once you become authorized through them, of companies that they work with. So in that case, you might have to get creative and actually start marketing directly to some businesses and let them know, hey, this is who I am. This is a service that I provide. I'd like to provide that to you and your clients.
That's a good one. That's a
That's
good
some
one.
that's marketing. For someone to ask
Yeah.
about the first 50 clients, use your social media, Facebook, even if it's your personal pages, talk to friends, even people. If you're going to make a badge, we'll make a shirt that says, I am a notary. I provide online services. Wear it while you're out. Get creative and they'll come.
Car signs. I mean,
Yes.
we talked about contacting hospitals and their HR departments, front desk, letting
Mhm.
them know that you are a remote online notary,
Yes.
asking them to add you to the Rolodex just in case somebody in the hospital or a nursing home. Uh,
Right.
Various businesses need remote online notarizations done quite
Yes.
often. So,
Yes.
we talked about that also, the marketing portion in another video. So look back at some of those old videos too, y'all.
Yes.
So we have hit the 48-minute mark, Miss Samantha, and I thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're
You are
welcome.
awesome. You are a beautiful spirit, and I'm just excited. When you set your business up
Hmm.
to be a coach, let me know. We can get back on whatever collaboration you're interested in, even me helping you with your YouTube channel that you're about to create. Um, I am open for it, and I will forward my clients to you and help you
Awesome.
grow that as well. Because what I am about
Mhm.
is blessing other people to be a blessing.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. I will ensure that I take you up on your opportunity. When I first came up with my name, I grabbed every social media that was out there, including the YouTube channel. I didn't necessarily think I was going to do videos, but again, positioning myself for success. So thank you so much.
And you are too pretty
So
not to
this
do videos.
is so
So
grown.
that's, I didn't just spoke that when into your channel and then in your future.
Yeah.
So people want to know how to get a hold of you. If you want to
Mhm.
give that information now,
Sure.
cool. If you want to wait till you're all set up and then I filter that information out, however you want to do it.
For right now, for the time being, I mean, well, you can either email me or well, you can find me on Instagram. I'm still working on my page, but at .I cross T notary is my Instagram page, and .I cross T notary at yahoo.com right now is one of my email addresses. So feel free if you do have questions, you can ask me there, and I'll get back to you.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Okay, well, thank you so much. And I'm going to talk to them because I see we started asking other questions now. Um, so one of the opportunities that I presented was mystery shops.
Okay.
You can make a bunch of money even on the phone just doing mystery shopping.
Oh.
And that's something that is Miss Nico's specialty. And so we had a 7 o'clock call with our people today. And I mean, just to give you an idea,
Hmm.
you can easily make $30 in 15 minutes, $100 in 15 minutes. It just kind of depends on what job is available to that. So if that's something that you're interested in learning about, let me know. You have my telephone number and we can
I
talk
do.
about
Okay,
it. Okay.
great. Okay.
Awesome. Well, you have a great night, Samantha. Thank you so much.
You
Bye,
too. Thank you.
Samantha. You were awesome.
Thank you.
I thought Mr. Black said that's my boo breaking it down on there on you. I was reading. I said, "Oh, that's so cute."
Aw.
I learned a lot, so I want to sign up for the coaching most definitely with you. Okay,
Okay, great.
I'm
I
your
will
first
let you guys
client.
know.
Okay,
All right. Thank you.
All
all
right. Have
righty.
a good evening.
Bye.
She's a doll.
She
Beautiful.
is. So here we are again, Miss Nico and I. And if you signed up for the mystery shopping opportunity, please, please, please check your spam folder, check your promotions folder, because I sent the information out Friday. Most of the people who are saying, I didn't get it, what happened, blah, 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 it's in your spam folder. I can't tell you why it's going to spam folders, but it did. So please check your spam folder. A lot of people um I have also, mailed them, emailed them 2, 3 times. So please, 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 if you cannot get in touch with me, email me at TJ at Solutions by TJ and give me your phone number because for whatever reason the email isn't going through. So give me your phone number. Let's talk one-on-one. But before you do all of that, check your spam folders. Okay?
Your promotion folder too, and refer. Tell people about it. Send people to us. Refer. We're waiting. Are we doing a referral bonus? Do you want to do a referral bonus?
We can do whatever you want to do.
Okay, we can do a referral bonus. What do we want to do?
Um, I don't know. We'll figure it out and then
Okay.
send it out.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's think about that. Okay, so listen. This week I was telling the people on the mystery call, I figured out what the haters look like. I got some hate mail for the mystery shopping thing. And look at Nico. See, Nico wasn't gonna be nice to people.
No.
She was upset about it. And look, my little old soft heart feelings was all the way hurt. So she ready to fight, and I'm sad. But because it was like, some people can't recognize an opportunity and they feel like, oh, well, I already knew that information. Well, why'd you buy it? Baby, I can't read your mind. It was brand new to me. I knew nothing about it. And I knew about mystery shopping. Don't get me wrong. But when I knew about it, it was $3 job here, $5 job here. No clue that you can do real estate mystery shopping where you go to apartment complexes, act like you're going to lease a unit, fill the thing out, take 15 minutes, ask for this person, and you get $30 to $100. I didn't know that. I didn't know that that existed. So when Nico came to me with that opportunity, I was like, oh, we got to tell them people. We got to go to the family. They got to know now. So little black girl threw everything together, threw it up against the wall, wasn't prepared at all. But I got it to y'all as quickly as I could.
She did.
And so then when I'm getting backlash for it, like, oh, well, you just hustling. This is a scam. Girl, what? Huh? Who?
No.
That's not me at all. I mean, but I know my real people know who I am, what I'm about. My family knows. So somebody outside of the family was looking at it. They got the whole wrong idea about it because we're not just showing you shops what you pay for that $100, which is not a lot of money. You pay for Nico's experience and the shops that she know not only pay but pay well. And we're walking you through the documents, and we're steadily updating you on new shops and what's going on in the industry. So it's not just like a once and gone. This is a continuous thing. So anyway, I love y'all. We're gonna get out of here. I'm starving. Madison came down here and she wants to eat too. So I love y'all.
I love you too. Thank you guys
Y'all
for
take
welcoming me.
care. Y'all have a good evening. Bye.